Hey friends, welcome to Mimi's Mixed Bag. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're new here and like what you see today, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Today I'm bringing you a little Christmas decor. It's actually an original idea and it's loosely based on a couple different projects I've seen in the past. Now I hope it turns out, and I'm sure if I'm posting it, it has turned out. I wanted to post it as soon as possible because the base of it is something from the Halloween section at the Dollar Tree. And what you're going to need is one of these witch's hat wreath forms. It's pretty good size. We're going to trim it up so it's not near as big. One of these wire forms. The rest of the supplies are very simple and easy to find. So let's go inside and let me show you what else you'll need. All right, what I'm going to make today is a big Santa head. What you're looking at here is basically all you're going to need. Here is the witch's hat wreath form if you've never seen one. You're going to need about 60 cents worth of felt, 2 sheets at Walmart, a red one for the hat, and then a pink or peach color for his face. I prefer the flesh peach color. Pale pink will work just fine. I've got a couple big size Google eyes I'm going to use, but you know, you could use buttons or whatever you have, and for his nose, just a red pom-pom ball. As far as tools, you're going to need a pair of scissors, some electrical tape, and some wire nippers. They actually sell wire nippers at the Dollar Tree if you don't have any, and they work pretty good. I don't know if they're in the craft department or the hardware department, but they do carry those. Some hot glue, and then some white fabric. I don't know exactly how much fabric you're going to need, but the piece of scrap fabric I have is about the size of 2 pillowcases. You could get that at 59 cents a piece at Goodwill, or an old tablecloth, or you know, it doesn't have to be white. If you wanted it to be beige or cream to be a more vintage Santa, you could do that, but I just have some old white fabric here that I'm going to make work. So I'm going to clear all this out and get my wire nippers, and I'm going to shape up this wreath form a little bit. All right, the first 2 nips I'm going to do is at the top of the witch's hat. I'm going to snip off this point right here so that my Santa hat is straight across the top. All right, the next nip I'm going to do is at the brim of the witch's hat. I'm going to cut some of this point off, not all the way to right there, but I'm going to cut this witch's brim at least half off. About that much on each side. Okay, just want to show you, I decided to cut off a little more of that witch's brim, so about 1 inch right here on both sides. And then I'm going to take the electrical tape here and just wrap it closed again, just so that the points meet again. This is going to end up being my Santa whiskers. I just want to show you that I took the electrical tape and just wrapped it about 5 times on each side to connect the ends together again, and this is what my form looks like now. All right, I'm going to be working from the back here for a minute. I'm going to lay my wreath form on my 1 sheet of red felt. Even if you run a little short right here, that'll be fine, because once I flip it over, the white stuff on the hat brim will cover that up. Our main goal is to make sure that the top part of this hat is covered. So we're working from the back here. We're just going to flip this felt over and hot glue it best you can across the top of the form. Or let me show you the back of the hat here. Hot glue and felt work beautifully together. Now the bottom little section is going to be the face area. I'm going to take my pink colored felt, and I'm just going to probably cut the piece almost in half and fit it into this section right here. I'm going to turn now, let me show you the back, and I just hot glued it onto the frame. Since this felt is a little transparent, I'm probably going to cut away this extra here, because when I flip it over and show the front, you can kind of see where the back flaps are, and I don't want that to show too bad. Now I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to start working on my white fringe for my hat out here, and I wanted to be able to give you a more accurate amount of how much white fabric you need, so I went ahead and cut my scrap fabric the size of about 1 pillowcase. This is what you're going to do on the end of a pillowcase, and I'm just going to take it and rip it each little section. This is what you'll get, is little thin strips. Fabric ribbon is what I call it. I'm going to take one of these long strands and cut it into approximately 5-inch pieces. You can always cut it shorter if it's too long. I'm going to take the little pieces and I'm going to tie them onto this 1 bar that's separating the hat and the face. 1 simple knot over and under, and just scrunch it and get it as tight and fluffy as you can with the little strips of fabric. All right, I've got as many little strips on there tied as I can possibly squeeze in. I want to show you that that's what it's going to look like when it's tied, but then you're going to take it and fluff it up. It'll kind of hide the little knots in the center, and it will make your hat trim. All right, now I'm ready to work on my whiskers and beard, and I took a little piece of fabric and just covered up where that black electrical tape is. Just used some hot glue and covered it up so the black wouldn't show. Now I'm going to do just like I did the hat brim, just tie some strips onto this round bar and this top bar, and the strips I'm using now are between 15 and 20 inches long. I'm going to tie them and push all the way and tie them all the way to the very tip, and then start on the top row. I want to stop halfway through my beard just to show you that I used about 15 strips on this half and 15 strips on this half, so you only need approximately 30 strips. Now I'm going to start on the top, and I'll probably need between 20 and 30 there too. And when I get to this end, I'm just going to tie it over it just to cover it up. Here on these ends, I did kind of turn them up just a little bit just to kind of make it look more beard-like. So now all I have left to do is do like a pom-pom on the top of his head, and I'm going to do it just like I would a yarn pom-pom. I'm going to take 5 of those long fabric strips, wrap it around my hand, and tie it and cut the loops apart just like you would a pom-pom. Just look up yarn pom-pom and there's a million videos on it. I've got just a few embellishments, my eyes, a little holly leaf for his hat and his nose. So I'm going to put those last finishing touches on it and show you what it looks like. All right, friends, here is my witch's hat Santa head. Just love how it turned out. Here's my pom-pom ball just tied on, and love the way that looks. His little face is glued on. I did trim up his beard just a little bit, a few little wild strings, but I have just a few notes for you that I would maybe do different next time. I mentioned before I may have cut even more of the witch's brim hat off next time to keep it from extending out even more, but it doesn't look bad because, you know, a Santa's beard is big and fluffy, so it doesn't look distorted or anything. The next thing is on the face felt. I would have probably carried that all the way down to the bottom, and that way if the beard does split, it won't just be open. You would just see the pink or flesh colored felt. I may do that different next time. So I'm just love how it turned out. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I do, and you're able to find the witch's hat wreath form. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back next Tuesday for a really fun Halloween collab. Bye-bye.